Wow, the best guitar design. Most likely, it will be the Stratocaster. Fenders are better than Gibsons for some things. For more than 40 years, Mike Campbell played guitar next to Tom Petty and crafted some of rock's most famous riffs. Campbell made the sound of American rock and roll as the lead guitarist for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's in wonderful shape. I don't take it out of the house, and it sounds completely different. His Rick and Backer and Fender guitars made a lot of hit tunes that are still played on the radio every day. Music Campbell is not only a helper, he is a superb craftsman who studied the guitar like a student. When Campbell talked about his 10 favorite guitarists, music aficionados paid close attention. Tom performed rhythm on this guitar on practically every song on 2 albums in particular. And this is pretty good for Tom back then. This wasn't just a random thought from a casual player. Campbell has spent his whole life trying to figure out what makes outstanding guitar playing so exceptional. His picks show that he knows a lot about the blues, rock, folk, and country music traditions. Some of the people on his list are well-known legends. Some of the choices are startling, which shows that Campbell has a refined taste in music. Campbell searches for certain things in guitarists he likes. Tone is more important than speed. Feel beats technical excellence. Always putting the song first is better than showing off. These ideas influenced his own famous career and made his personal Top 10 list. 10. Cadet Atkins. Cadet Atkins came up with the Nashville sound, which changed country music forever. Campbell learned how to play Atkins's unique finger-picking approach by listening to his records as a child. Atkins played melodies, bass lines, and chord progressions at the same time on one guitar. Younger players who tried to mimic him thought his style was impossible. For sure one of my favorites. And Mike Bloomfield. We could keep on, but those two are incredibly important. Campbell learned early on that being precise and economical has a bigger effect than being spectacular and over the top. Atkins made hundreds of instrumental CDs that showed how versatile he was. He could easily switch between country, jazz, pop, and classical music. His Gretsch trademark guitars provided a warm, clear sound that became the sound of country music. Campbell liked how Atkins never stopped trying new things and getting better throughout the course of his long career. Campbell was particularly impressed by how kind Atkins was as a producer and mentor. Atkins helped several others start their careers while still doing his own shows. Campbell is claimed to have said that Atkins taught him that playing the guitar is more than simply having fast fingers. It's also about having good taste and being smart. Atkins showed that instrumental guitar could communicate stories without using words. 9. Scotty Moore. Scotty Moore played guitar on Elvis Presley's first records and effectively came up with the rock and roll guitar style, music no one knew how guitar should sound in this new music before Moore. Moore figured it out on the spot and came up with methods that all rock guitarists still use today. Campbell was really interested in Moore's work. Ari Shervill, the book's ghostwriter, knew that Moore was the one who started it all. Moore's guitar work on That's All Right and Mystery Train mixed country picking with blues feeling in a way that had never been done before. His solos were short, lyrical, and well-placed. Moore never wasted notes or tried to show off. He did a great job of serving Elvis's voice and the song's enthusiasm. Campbell liked how Moore's guitar sections were just as memorable as the vocal melodies. Moore had a big impact on rock music history, even though he never got as famous as Elvis. Campbell is said to have called Moore the first rock guitar architect. Moore played a Gibson ES-95 and then a Super 400. The warm sound broke through the poor recording technology of the 1950s. Moore is owed a huge debt by every rockabilly and rock guitarist. 8. James Burton. James Burton played the Fender Telecaster. As no other guitarist has since, Burton became the most sought-after guitarist in rock and country music after working with Ricky Nelson, Elvis Presley, and many other artists on tour. Campbell liked how Burton could change his playing to fit any musical occasion while yet keeping his own voice, swampy groove, and phrasing. Burton's style was a mix of rock and roll and country chicken picking. His string bending and quick, crisp runs have had an effect on many players throughout the years. Burton was just as good at playing blistering solos as he was at playing soft fills. Campbell saw that Burton always made the vocalist sound better and never tried to get attention. Burton knew that good guitar playing helps the whole band. Burton's tone and phrasing were what set him apart from other session guitarists. You could tell it was James Burton playing just by hearing 3 notes. Campbell is said to have said that Burton was the best professional guitar player. Burton's Red Paisley Telecaster is one of the most well-known guitars in rock history. His work is the right mix of technical skill and musical sensibility. 7. Carl Perkins. Carl Perkins penned blue suede shoes and played some of the most famous guitar parts in rockabilly. I don't have to look very hard to see what I have. Perkins established a new style that was a mix of country, blues, and rhythm and blues. Campbell said that Perkins had a big impact on how he played rhythm guitar. That's the kind of material I enjoy. You know, I'm not aiming to be the voice of short guitar solos. Perkins could play both powerful rhythm and stinging solos at the same time, making one guitar seem full. Perkins's guitar playing on his Sun Records albums was full of vigor and new ideas. His solos had identifiable starts, middles, and ends that told stories. Perkins never played notes at random, hoping that something would work. Every lick had a point and a goal. Campbell loved how Perkins made his guitar sound like it was talking to people. What made Perkins stand out was how well he wrote songs and played guitar. He made full packages that included both the guitar parts and the songs. Campbell is said to have said that Perkins showed that rhythm guitar could be just as exciting as lead guitar. The Beatles were inspired by Perkins and recorded a lot of his songs. His Gibson ES5 guitar made a thick, strong sound that was typical of rockabilly music. During his life, Perkins never got the credit he deserved. 6. Clarence White. His string bending techniques and modified tellier changed the way country rock guitar was played. Music White put in a special device that let him bend strings with a lever while he played. This new idea allowed him to make pedal steel sounds on a regular electric guitar. Campbell read a lot of White's work since he was so interested in his new ideas and beautiful writing. White's work with Birds on albums like Sweetheart of the Rodeo and Untitled took country rock in new directions. Honor those records, and there's a lot of signature guitar parts that Lindsey Buckingham. His bluegrass upbringing made him quite fast and accurate, but White never played fast just to show off. Every run and lick had musical purposes. Campbell liked how White made hard playing sound easy and natural. White's tragic death at age 26 cut short one of guitar's most promising careers. Campbell reportedly called White the most underrated guitarist in rock history. White influenced countless players including Albert Lee and Vince Gill. His modified 1954 Telecaster became legendary among guitar collectors. White proved that innovation and tradition could coexist nicely. He took bluegrass flat-picking into electric rock contexts seamlessly. 5. Brian May. Brian May built his own guitar from scratch and created one of rock's most distinctive sounds, and slowly, that's something like this. May's handcrafted red custom guitar combined with his unique approach produced tones nobody else could duplicate. Campbell loved May's completely original musical voice. Queen's guitar sound was instantly recognizable as Brian May, exhibiting true individualism in an era of copycats. May's orchestral style of playing guitar made huge, layered sounds. He recorded several guitar sections that sounded like vocal choruses. His solo on Bohemian Rhapsody grew from gentle picking to tremendous power. May used a British sixpence coin as a pick, which gave his attack and tone a unique sound. Campbell appreciated how May thought beyond typical rock guitar methods. 4. Keith Richards. Keith Richards understands rhythm guitar better than nearly anyone in rock history. His music work with the Rolling Stones defined what rhythm guitar could be in a rock band. Campbell gained great amounts from observing Richards' approach to open tunings, riff development, and groove creation. Richards showed that the rhythm guitarist may be the most important member of the ensemble. Richards was different from other guitarists because he knew a lot about roots music. He took in all of the blues, country, and rock and roll inspirations. Campbell reportedly claimed that Richards plays 5 strings better than most people play 6. Richards took down the low E string and tuned the guitar to open G to get his distinctive sound. His Telecasters and fewer Pauls made a raw, cutting sound that established the Stone sound. 3. George Harrison. People could sing and remember George Harrison's guitar parts for the rest of their lives. His work with the Beatles showed that lead guitar may be great without being too hard. Campbell said that Harrison was one of his biggest influences, especially when it came to learning how to serve songs instead of taking over them. Harrison's solos were like mini songs that fit well into other songs. Harrison was unusual because he had a spiritual way of looking at music. He thought that playing the guitar was a way to meditate and help others. Campbell is claimed to have observed that Harrison showed that beauty and simplicity are better than showing off and being complicated. Harrison's slide guitar playing gave rock guitar a whole new set of words. His Gretsch guitars and later his Fender Stratocasters made beautiful singing sounds. Harrison taught a lot of athletes that little may be more. 2. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix broke every norm regarding what an electric guitar could do. Music, he came up with more new ideas in 3 years of recording than most guitarists do in their whole careers. Campbell examined Hendrix's harmonic ideas, rhythmic ideas, and sound experiments over and over again. Rix didn't merely play the guitar in a different way. He completely redesigned the instrument from the ground up. Hendrix's shows at Monterey and Woodstock showed that guitar could be theater, art, and music that goes beyond words all at the same time. Songs like Purple Haze, Voodoo Child, and Machine Gun took the electric guitar to places it had never been before. Hendrix employed feedback, distortion, and effects to write music. Campbell liked how Hendrix mixed blues mood with psychedelic exploration and strong rock strength. Rix was one of a kind since he was both a master of his craft and a true artist. He played upside-down Stratocasters with the strings going the other way, which made for some interesting fingerings. Campbell is said to have considered Rix the best pure inventor in the history of the guitar. Rix had the same effect on rock, blues, funk, and jazz musicians. He died at the age of 27, which is still one of music's biggest tragedies. For Campbell, only one guitarist was better. One is Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry made up a whole new vocabulary for rock and roll guitar music. All rock guitarists who came after Berry used words that he made up in the 1950s. Campbell puts Berry at the top of the list because he was a great songwriter, showman, rhythm player, and lead guitarist all at the same time. Berry wasn't only a guitar player, he set the standard for rock guitar. Berry's guitar solos in Johnny B. Good, Roll Over Beethoven, and Maybelline are some of the most recognized in history. Every rock guitarist now uses his double string bending method. Berry's rhythm playing gave the tunes an irresistible drive that moved them onward. His duckwalk stage act made playing the guitar look cool. Campbell worked with Berry later in his career and saw how smart he was. The decisions Mike Campbell makes show that excellent guitar playing comes from the heart and soul, not merely speed. Do you agree with Chuck Berry being number 1? Leave your opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more great guitar videos.